Oh, Foxy, it's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
And we're going to get started with our next interview with Mr. David Vincent. And we have the first question from our press outlets.
All right.
JB versus the world. What is your nerdy origin story?
My nerdy origin story?
Yes, sir. What got you started into the nerd?
What got me started into the nerdom is as a kid I was a nerd. I was just actually saying before we were chatting here, is that I grew up watching the OG animes like Starship or Star Blazers, and Voltron and all of the OGs. So I loved it back then, and then as I started my acting career, it just kind of evolved, and I just kind of fell guided towards this genre, and I just love it. And so to me, it was like coming home.
As far as you voicing out, and I need to get your reaction on what you felt when you, the initial reaction with the meme of the pulling of the hair. What was that like?
So when I saw in Jujutsu Kaisen, when I originally saw the animation for the scene where Nanabu's pulling Harada's hair, number one, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I got really excited about that. And then KG Tang is actually, he voices Gojo. He's a good friend of mine, so he kind of gave me a little bit of a heads up on that. But what really got me excited and having fun with it was all the TikTok videos that I saw coming out on that scene. And so for me, that scene was just an absolute blast. I loved it. I think Chris Hackney's the voice actor. Who's a fantastic voice actor who plays my counterpart in that scene. And I loved it, man. It was really one of my favorite scenes in all of JJK. I think you and then you. Yeah. Well, yeah, you and then you.
You were first.
All right, so you talk about how it works. So you talk about how you're an old school anime person.
Yeah.
But do you have an anime opinion that might get you canceled?
Why are you trying to get him canceled?
Might get you canceled.
I don't think so. I don't have an anime opinion. I mean, that is that strong. I'll be honest with you. What I love about anime, and this is what I think sets anime apart, even from most Western animation, is the storytelling. The storytelling and the stories that come from anime they're on a league of their own, and that's the reason why anime, in my opinion, has gotten so much, has been embraced by all these new and younger generations. So we have generations like our generation, right? That we grew up watching Star Blazers, and then the generations, the Bleach generation, the Naruto generation. Now we have this whole new generation of anime fans that are coming, and it's just growing. And to me, it's all about the storytelling, and I don't think any other creators are telling the stories the way that anime tells stories. That's what I get excited about. I don't know if that would cancel me or not, but I just to me, I'm very passionate about just how well and how unique and original these stories are that are coming out of anime versus any other kind of genre of entertainment. It's anime that I think is above and beyond, and a step above and beyond any of the stuff Hollywood's putting out, in my opinion.
You were talking about it earlier about the Dragon Ball, how the storytelling is bad.
Yeah.
The first Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was worse storytelling?
Yes.
Yeah. Like the original Dragon Ball was good storytelling, the Dragon Ball Z fell off. So
it fell off, yeah, and there are arcs, right? I mean, and you'll see different kind of up and down, and all fans are different. Everybody likes different stories for whatever it is that they like. But as a whole, in my opinion, that's what to me that gets me so excited about anime is just incredible stories and incredible storytelling with great characters. Yeah.
Just more of a fun type of question for you. When it comes to a lot of the different famous characters and beloved characters they voice, who would you say are two of the most different characters that you play that you'd be interested to find a connection between?
Oh, to pair the two,
Kinda, yeah,
the two characters?
Yes.
Oh, gee whiz. There's a pretty wide array of characters that I have played, but I think an odd couple, an odd pairing would probably be Kento Nanami and maybe GRIMMJOW JEAGERJAQUES for Bleach.
That'll be fun.
I just could see that just the dynamic there would be very volatile, mostly coming from GRIMMJOW, where you have Nanami, who's much more quiet with his strength, but GRIMMJOW, who's over the top and aggressive, and anytime anytime you see GRIMMJOW, he's all hands ready to throw, as opposed to Nanami's kind of the yin to his yang. Where Nanami's a lot more reserved, but then he also will bring that strength. Yeah.
James, Moana Nui Podcast. What was your journey like getting into voice acting? What initially got you?
That's a great question. How my journey into voice acting is that I got my degree in journalism from University of Colorado Boulder. And while I was there, though, I still I did my first play in high school, so I still did all the theater that I could while I was at CU Boulder. And I loved it because you didn't have to be a theater major to do all the theater. So I did every play that I could do in college. As soon as I graduated, I made a beeline for New York City. And I went to New York and I hit the stage. And I did theater for 5 years, and I started doing stand-up comedy and sketch comedy. And then I was doing a show at a theater in Times Square. And I was doing a bit where I was making fun of TV commercials, and there was a voiceover agent in the audience. And she saw me and approached me after my show and said, "Here's my card, you gotta call me." And so that's actually how I got into the voiceover world, but it was really a few gentlemen in the industry that I had really curated relationships over the years in voiceover, because I did voiceover for quite a while before I started getting into anime and video gaming. There are actually a number of folks that I can shout out. Two of them are gonna be Steve Bloom, who he and I had the same agent, and he's like, "Man, have you ever done anime?" And I was like, "No, man, you got to do anime." And then Liam O'Brien from Critical Role, and a myriad of other things, was also pretty instrumental in helping me to get the introductions into this world. And I'm forever grateful to them because it is anime and video gaming has really become, the centerpiece of my career. In the entertainment industry, and I love this industry so much. I love anime so much. I love video gaming so much, and I love these stories. And so for me, it's incredibly fulfilling. That's how I got my start. You had a question? Yeah.
Man, there's so many questions I want to ask. So many. Because you are a part of a lot of different franchises.
Yeah.
From Gundam to Bleach to Fate to Mashal, right? Like you and Code Geass even.
Yeah, Code Geass.
Like as a fan, which franchise are you most proud of being a part of?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. And you'll hear actors always say, "Oh, it's like picking your favorite kid," and it's true. It's true, and there's a lot of truth to that. There are a number of them that I'm very proud of. Being a part of Bleach is just something that I'm extremely proud of. What a great series to be a part of. What a great franchise to be a part of. The fact that it was 10 years ago that we finished it, and now a decade later it comes back. And I got to go into the studio, and it was like putting on my favorite pair of pants. Going to voice GRIMMJOW again. And so Bleach is one that I just absolutely love. JJK, to me, again, it's incredible storytelling. And what I love about JJK is just the artistry in that anime, and the fact that it's gotten the recognition that it has, and that what I love is that more audiences are able to actually see these incredible stories. And that's what I get so excited about. I've never imagined that Kento Nanami would be on barbecue sauce at McDonald's, or that we would have, that they would bring the right over to Universal Studios in Hollywood, and that we would be going to a red carpet in Hollywood, Universal Studios, for a JJK ride at Universal Studios. So these are the types of things, those franchises off the top of my head. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What a great series that I've had the privilege of being a part of now for the whole franchise as I narrate the series. And so all of these shows that I've been a part of are just, I'm incredibly proud to be a part of it, and it's an honor.
Last question.
As far as being a fan and being in the industry, what have you noticed from that time to now, the firsthand or just noticed in general?
It's grown and evolved. Since I first got my start in this industry to where it is now, it continues to grow and evolve. And when I started doing anime, I fell in love with the stories, and I fell in love with the characters, and it was really underground. When I first started doing anime, this was still where if you were a fan of anime, you didn't necessarily share that because the kids at school might beat you up. And now what I love the most is that now I sign autographs for school teachers come in, and they use these anime to bond with their students. And so that's the type of stuff that I just find incredibly fulfilling in watching the trajectory of anime and just seeing how these incredible stories are really beginning to reach audiences, a wider audience, which I just love. I love that more people are able to share in the joy that you and me have shared for years and years and years at this point. Now more people are joining the club, and it's a lot of fun.
All right. And David, can you tell how people can follow you on social media?
Absolutely. You can follow me on social media. Instagram is @DavidVincentVA. It's all @DavidVincentVA for voice actor. It'll be the same for Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever they're calling it now, and then Blue Sky, which I'm now starting to post on there, and then what is the other ones? I guess Facebook, I still have that, and then those are the best ways to follow me.
All right.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it legal lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand,
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We